another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comfort together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meech.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech.
Darling.
And hello. Okay. What's going on? Tell me if you can hear me. Okay. Now, I know y'all looking at me and like, okay, bitch, what is going on with you and this mask, right? And which is too goddamn small to begin with, okay? Well, let me tell you. Y'all know I have been having dental problems and carrying on, right? And okay, it's a part of life, getting up there in age, and I'm over 50, but not that far over 50, okay? But all right. Well, darling, I am Yuck Mouth City right about now because I was eating a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich at work yesterday. Coming home, I'm in my car, biting into this, and my tooth broke the fuck off. Okay. Now, it wasn't the one that I thought was going to break. It was the other one. Now, y'all know I only had 2 damn teeth left up here in the top, right? So now, yeah. So rather than sitting up here trying to be cute or whatever, I decided I'm going to wear this little mask until I get comfortable enough to say, okay, it is what it is. Y'all know I don't have any health insurance at the moment. So trying to get dental work and carrying on, I've got to sit down here and hell, just shy of selling some ass, honey. Hey, I got to find out something to do. But a bitch need a grill quickly because I talk entirely too much not to have one. And I'm in too many people's faces and carrying on. And I can see this is not going to work. So, all right, what we going to do is this. I'm going to talk like this, okay? Because I can't hear myself. All right, fuck it. It is what it is, right? This ain't working like I thought it was going to. Okay. But nonetheless, that there is that. So my head has just been fried, and I say whatever for whatever reasons God had me on this particular part of this particular journey, vanity is a bitch. Okay. I'm telling you now, vanity is a complete and utter bitch. Okay. It's been working with my psyche ever since this bitch broke off. And I just have not been right. And then to add insult to injury, I went to go vote. And I'm coming home from the grocery store and things. And my cousin sends me a direct message and says to me that my aunt died. This is my father's older sister. Y'all know my cousin that I say I'm 22 days older than. This is his mom. His mom happened to be, his mom and my mom, their birthdays are a week apart. She's May 16th. My mom is May 22nd. Y'all know I'm still dealing with the passing of my mother. And we just celebrated their birthdays and this, that, and the other. And now to hear that she passed, I'm in such a whirlwind, it's ridiculous. So that's where I am right now. But that's not going to deter me. Yeah. And you know, my cousin died last year. So, you know, we're still trying to get over the first on him. He died last year. What was it? He died May 2nd of last year. So we're just celebrating and going through all of the firsts with him and his children, you know, dealing with all that now, the grand, you know, all that. He has brothers and sisters and things. And yeah. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with over in this neck of the woods. So if y'all have not been seeing me or whatever, that's why I've been trying to keep my head space in the game. And most of the time it's just been sitting around looking simple. Okay. Or if I'm at work at the donut factory, dealing with the shenanigans of the donut factory. Okay. Nick, you ready? Okay, got my co-host coming up in here. Come on, girl.
Well, I guess it wasn't just me. did the strawberry moon do something to us the other night? That's all I need to tell.
Perhaps.
I didn't even call you yesterday. You would have been so proud of me yesterday. Me and Liliana went to the airport. We got to the airport at 6:15 for a flight that's supposed to board like 7 something, whatever, was going to take off to 8. We get on the plane. About get over to the runway. About to take off. The pilot said, we got to go back to the gate. Now, Meech will tell y'all how long I've been trying to get Lily home these last couple weeks. Go back to the gate. Delay after delay after delay after delay. A flight that was supposed to leave at 8 a.m. We did not take off till 5:15. Deboard the plane, get back on the plane. Then we still had to wait for air traffic control once we got back on the plane at 5:15. I mean, they delayed this thing all day. First they said 12, then they said 3. Finally at 5 we get on there. So we get on the airstrip again. And now we got to wait because air traffic control saying there's storms all over the place and there's too many planes flying at the same altitude, whatever. We got to wait till they give us a route to get there. I did see a beautiful lightning storm yesterday too. But my plans was to get to Philly around 10, spend a little bit of time with Keisha, come right back. Well, because I didn't get there until 7 something, I handed Lily off to her mom like she was a goddamn football. Do you understand me?
Girl.
I had to hug my baby, kiss my baby, and chastise her all in like 5 seconds. So Keisha comes because she was already off work. We go back through security and I get back over to the gate for my plane. How about this? Plane's supposed to be boarding. They ain't got not damn one agent at the damn desk. Okay? Not one. So Keisha friends keep walking by like, Keisha like, I'm not clocked in. I don't know what y'all want me to do. Then one of her other friends who was getting on the flight with me. She was like, do we need to clock in and check ourselves in? So finally get somebody come work the flight. Thank God it was the supervisor, one of Keisha's friends. We get on that flight. Again, we get held up. Not as much. We get held up, though, because of all the storms.
Wow.
I got back here at like 11:30 yesterday after leaving my house at 6
in the morning.
Yeah. So I let y'all know, I just got up pretty much like an hour and a half.
Shut up. Okay.
I said, guess what?
Well,
I'm doing this shit tonight. Y'all kiss my ass. And I got to sleep in my entire bed in the middle.
Oh, stop now.
Bucket naked. Thank the Lord, won't he do it? Hallelujah.
Okay, now listen.
I'm ready for whatever. Let's go.
We finna ready to get into this because I have, we finna get political today. Okay. And let me set this up because see, now we're here.
Come in here because we're getting political. I met a very nice, and I had to say this, y'all, because y'all know, I met a very nice white lady yesterday, and we was on the flight together, and it pissed her off so much. She was like, I went somewhere and found wine. I'm a grandmom too. Now, this is rare for me. She was 62, but she damn sure did not look 62. She takes good care of herself, okay? We had a hoot. Now, I told her I want her to come on the show one day because she was just funny as hell. Now, there's not a lot she could say because she worked. I ain't gonna tell y'all who she worked for. I'm just say she worked for the government. So,
Okay. Right.
so I hope she comes in. She told me to send her, where she could watch
Invitation.
it.
Okay.
So, okay,
Okay.
let's get it. What's going on?
Okay, this is what's going on. Now, y'all know Wednesdays, I am over at mix106radio.com with DC, right? So I'm like, okay. Y'all also, y'all may not know this part, that I am the co-chair for, what the hell is the name of it? I think
College Park Citizens Association.
No,
not that
no,
one.
this something else. This here is the South Fulton Democrats or Southside what the Democrat thing, child. Okay, it's the party. Now I'm co-chair for College Park. Okay. Now I'm going to be very transparent with this because I'm not doing a whole lot because it throws me. Okay, what is it? I'm confused with the responsibilities at time.
Okay.
And remember, I was sending out. We try to do voters registrations and all that. Get on the calls and do the calls thing.
Yeah,
that's all that. Now y'all know I registered as an independent. I'm not necessarily party. Strict party. So that's what had me hesitant at first. But I said no. Okay, I could do this. Well, we get a call, a blast that says that they wanted us to get, volunteers to get on the phone bank.
Yeah.
Because we are pushing the candidate, Roger Bruce.
Okay.
And in the email, it also says that the other candidate is a Republican in Democrat clothes. Right? So I'm like, really? Who's sleeping? You don't hear that?
Is it my fan?
Oh, that might be. Is that the fan?
It might be. I got on my air, but.
Oh, okay. No, it's air, but it just sounded like somebody was snoring.
Can you still hear it? I moved it back. But...
Okay, it's fine. Whatever you did is fine.
Okay.
So I said Republican. Okay, but they had just said that about another candidate who won his okay.
Okay.
Who won his primary because we in a runoff situation.
Yeah, I have forgot all about we in the runoff. So
we in the runoff.
I saw we need to go early vote. I was like, wait a goddamn minute. Right. I forgot about the runoff. So I gotta go on Monday.
Okay. So we in the runoff. So I'm like, okay, let me find out who this other candidate is.
Okay.
So I went to go research him. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm listening to him and I'm listening. Okay, well, where's the Republican thing at? Okay. What about this? Is he a Republican in sheep's clothing? I mean,
Right. And
I'm trying to hear what they're hearing or whatever. I don't hear it. Well, then Wednesday with DC, DC broke some shit down to me.
Okay.
That now we got this infighting within the Democrats. And basically what is happening is the children are up against the candidate simply because he's alphabet children with the husband.
I thought we was past this in politics.
Wait a minute. When DC got to breaking this down on how all this came about and what they're trying to push and this, that, and the other, I instantly got pissed. I instantly got pissed because I'm like, wait a minute. Number one, I'm blind and y'all come sending me this old fucked up ass mail out saying we need to push this candidate. Y'all ain't saying the reasons why, just that the other candidate is Republican and Democrats clothing or whatever.
Instead of just saying y'all want to back him because he gay.
But then
what I get out of it.
All of your underlying thing is, and all that you pushing is that's the only issue that you're pushing on. Okay, so I said, no, I'm going to open up the platform, and I got a hold to Mr. Kemp, and I got a hold to Mr. Well, I text Mr. Bruce. I didn't call him. I sent him a text, and I told him.
What you say at first? You said Mr. Kemp.
You heard me. Hold on. Hold on, that's his last name, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh, okay. It ain't that one.
Ain't that one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Baby, I'm having a heart attack over here.
I know. So I'm like, okay. So I sent Roger Bruce a text message because I went to his email. He got a text number down there.
Okay.
Call me or text me or whatever. And I did. And I sent him, and I did that Wednesday. Listen, was it Wednesday or yesterday? Whatever it was.
Okay.
Listen, you're welcome to come on this platform because your opponent is coming.
Okay.
I've yet to hear back from them. Okay. But then again, he may not. Because if he heard the show Wednesday, he may not come to me. Okay. He may not. Okay. And that's fine. But what we're going to do is I want to open this up because I want to give the candidate here the opportunity to explain what his platform is. And then we're going to get into some questions and carrying on to see where we can push this like I do with anybody else. Right. Okay. Because now, let me be very clear here. Number one, I'm not in District 61, so I can't vote. I have no dog in this fight. I can't twitch my nose.
And what are they running off for?
They are running for state representative.
State representative, okay.
For the district.
But that's not in our district.
No, that's not us. But that means, see, this is why this is important. He's going for the state representative, which means all of his decisions affect everybody in the state, not just his district.
Right.
Now he's
Remember okay, so that's what we were talking about with
right.
Yeah. Okay.
He's fighting for his district. Okay, because he's the district representative, but every decision that he make is going to thusly affect the entire state. Okay. So now I want to give him the opportunity to be as transparent as he feels he needs to be. Okay. And then also to let's put his platform out there, because I still need to hear what is so Republican about him. Okay, for the other children. And I'm gonna say this before I bring him in, because I want y'all to hear me. Wait a minute, let me solo Nick.
Okay.
What I do not like the whole political game in the fact that everybody feels that you want the best candidate, so you say. But then when you get the candidate, you think that the candidate is supposed to be a fucking machine and not a human being. Then you start going through nitpicking and points and carrying on about their personal life or whatever, as if people are not multifaceted. Okay? I don't like that political game like that because, damn it, if we're fighting for the issues and we're doing what the work is required, what the hell why is it that everything that I do in my personal life that does not affect my decision-making skills, that does not affect how I interact with my constituents, that does not affect anything about how it is that I run or work my position? Why is it that we as voters and we as people think that everybody, whether they are politicians, whether they are millionaires or billionaires or whatever, everybody who we have decided to put on whatever pedestal, we then get a hair up our ass if they are not being direct interpretations or magistrates for what we think should be right and wrong. Okay, they're not we don't hire them to be police. We hire them to be our voice. If you don't like what the hell they say, did you vote them out and put somebody up in there who you think is supposed to be the same? But why is it that folks cannot have a personal life? And why is it that when it comes down to this, you've got to scrutinize it with the fine-tooth comb? And then the ones who need to be scrutinized, those are the ones who you give a slap on the wrist to. I ain't gonna go there just yet because y'all know what I'm talking about. Right now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring in this candidate here. He's running for District 61. He's going to explain what his district houses, because I know it's South Fulton and there's other parts of it that he'll explain that of how the county lines draw. But what we're going to do is get into understanding why this is here, why he chose this arena, what it is he's standing for, and then we're going to get into some other things. So without any further ado, pomp and circumstances and carrying on, I want Okay. I want to introduce to some and present to others. This is Mr. RASHAUN KEMP. Mr. Kemp, darling.
Hey, good
Welcome,
evening.
welcome.
Hello. How y'all doing?
It's all moving and grooving on this end, baby.
Good.
What's up? What's up? What's up with you? It's the
He
question.
said Kemp at first and got me nervous. I said, wait a minute.
But you know what? Hold on, because before we move and go any further, I wanted to make sure that we cleared that up because you in this particular political arena, we know how petty people can be. And simply because your last name is Kemp.
Yeah.
And for those who don't like this fool that we call him governor, okay, they would do the name association and would X you out the box simply to be petty because you got the name Kemp.
Yeah.
So let's start there and let folks know exactly who you are and where you stand.
Yeah, so that's a really good point. Nikki's reaction when you said Kemp shows exactly what happens. And so that's why you see on all my campaign material, RASHAUN is
Your
real
first
big.
name?
Look, this is real big. I need y'all to understand.
Okay.
It's not the right name to have in a Democratic primary, but also it helps people remember the name. They don't forget. So, it's just my job to make sure people know about me and understand who I am and what I stand for. No way near am I related to Brian Kemp. Actually, Kemp is my husband's family's last name. And, we decided to go with his last name, one, because it's easier to spell. And we'll get into, how I was raised and my background and my family as to why ultimately we decided to go that route. But, that is where my last name comes from. His family's from Dublin, Georgia.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me play moderator right here.
All right.
Okay, listen, children. He said, that's my married name. I's married now.
Okay. Where my ring at? I's married.
That's my married name, honey, and I'm not hyphenated, mind you.
Right.
Okay.
Don't be shady, because mine is hyphenated.
Okay. But now I'm joshing right now because this is cute and it's and we can quip about it.
Right.
But I want to get serious because, as you heard in my intro, I got a hair up my ass all day. But before we get into that particular portion of the conversation, I really want to let's start with why you chose to enter the world of politics. So let's start there.
Yeah, that's a good question because it's gotten crazy these last few weeks. So I got into this race because in my background, working in education, I've been a teacher, a principal. I became a principal at the age of 27. And
all right.
Then moved down here and got into education advocacy. And through that, this is where folks try to throw this Republican stuff, which is insane. I worked in the public charter school space. And so I was a principal of a charter school that was a dropout prevention high school. That for many of our students, that was the last opportunity for them to get a high school diploma. And so at the time, the governor was trying to line item veto all charter schools in the state. And so our school then got active and began going and testifying and speaking at the Capitol. And so once I left my principalship, I moved down here and got into advocacy and grassroots organizing. And so through that work, I worked down at the Capitol, helping to get laws passed, helping to get funding for charter schools across the state. And so I got exposed to what happens down at the Capitol and the impact that they have in our everyday lives. And so a couple of years ago, we saw what happened to Black men. And, we'll get into, like you said, the alphabet soup, but that's not all that defines me. At the end of the day, when people see me first, they see me as a Black man. And we saw what happened with George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery here in Georgia. And so for me, it was a question of, am I doing all that I should be doing to make a difference in my community? Mm-hmm. And so this was, during the pandemic. And then early this year, my husband and myself were having a conversation talking about goals. And, I did not say I was running for office because, as you mentioned, there is an incumbent in this seat. But he made a very good point. He was like, why are you allowing someone else to dictate the contribution that you can make to your community? And so once he asked me that challenging question, I said, well, you know what? I can't allow that to stand. So I'm going to run. And we decided to jump into this race at the beginning of this year. So I announced in January that I was running for state representative because I know the impact that they can have in our lives. And I truly believe that we can do so much better than what we're getting right now in our current representation.
Okay. All right. Now, if you believe we can get so much better, let's start with you telling us in your observation what we're getting now.
So what we're getting now is an incumbent that has been in the seat for 19 years. We're getting the only full service hospital south of I-20 in Fulton County has now lost the emergency medical services side of the hospital. So we're not getting equitable access to healthcare in our communities. We're getting a representative who says, well, the only thing we really have to do is pass a budget. And so to me, that is just mediocre representation. That's the status quo saying, well, you know what, that's something I need to get into. You know, that's somebody else's fight. And I think what our community is saying, we deserve more. And so what we're getting right now is someone that's not willing to stand up and fight where it's necessary, standing up and fighting for everyday people, standing up and fighting and saying, no, our communities deserve more than just warehouses and gas stations. And so that's what I feel like we're getting right now. And then we're also getting mediocre education. I'm tired of seeing young Black boys that look like me being educated in schools that are not making them reach their full potential. I'm tired of seeing only 30% of third graders in Georgia reading at grade level in third grade. And so that's unacceptable to me. And I feel like there's more that we need to be doing at the state level to impact the lives of people that look like us.
Oh, okay. Now that's good. Okay, now that's what you say that we are getting. Tell me what you're bringing and what you're going to give.
Yeah. So what I'm bringing is an educator's perspective. Education, most people don't know, is the largest line item that we spend money on at the state level. So all of our taxes, the majority of that goes to education. And so many decisions are made about education without educators being involved. So I believe that what you'll get from me is somebody that understands the true impact that the decisions that happen down at the Gold Dome have in our classrooms and in our schools. And so what you're going to get is somebody that's willing to work across the aisle and find results for our students in classrooms. What you're getting from me is a leader who has produced results. I've turned around a failing school. I've started a nonprofit organization. And in my first year leading that organization, raised over $900,000. And that organization was to support Black-led schools across the country. And so what you're getting from me is somebody that's been passionate and produced results in so many different ways, but at the end of the day, impacted lives. What you're getting with me is somebody that's been involved in my community, having served as chair of my neighborhood planning unit, gone out and cleaned up neighborhoods, who serves on the board of Ivy Preparatory Academy, which is an all-girls school over in Atlanta, or that serves on the board of Georgia Equality, the largest state organization that supports the LGBTQ community. And so what you're getting from me is somebody that's involved in the community, somebody that understands the issues that we face, and somebody that will produce results and fight in all aspects that are impacting the lives of our community, because that is what is necessary today and now.
Okay. All right, now let's go here.
Wait,
go ahead, baby.
As an educator, do you feel like there's room to, let me see this. We know all kids don't learn the same.
Exactly. Right.
So that being said, all kids don't learn the same. What could you do that would help have a better, what do y'all call those things? My mom was a high school teacher. I don't know why I can't think of nothing right now. But the curriculum. Thanks, Meech. The curriculums be different, because if somebody is a visual learner or they're an audible learner, or right, you know what I'm saying, to have more than just one thing, because I feel like our kids have always been behind the ball because they don't all learn the same, and because they give up.
Yes, that's exactly it. And that's the problem. For far too long, our education system has been this kind of like monolithic thing. Like, okay, well, you're only going to go to the school because your zip code says you have to go to the school. And so that's where me and my opponent strongly differ. And this is where some people in, sadly, the Democratic Party are trying to say I'm a Republican, whereas the facts are that even President Obama supported charter schools during his administration and when he was a U.S. Senator and when he was in Chicago. And so I'm no different than any other Democrat across this country that supports public charter schools. And I think that's one of the solutions. And, a perfect example is Resurgence Hall Charter School, which is over in East Point. It's on Washington Road. It was founded by a sister, by Tori Jackson Hines. If y'all have not seen her, look her up. She's amazing. The school is amazing. But even more than that, it's the only A-rated school, elementary, middle, or high, south of I-20 in Fulton County. And that's a charter. And so my opponent, if he had his way, that school wouldn't even be in existence because he voted against the 2012 Charter School Amendment. And so that is something that I will stand up and fight for, because at the end of the day, like you said, Nikki, all students don't learn the same. And so another example is my son was at Grady High School when we were living in Midtown, and he was not getting the education that I felt best served him. Even though Grady is an A-rated school, we made the decision to send our son to KEMP because we wanted him to learn in an environment that's going to keep him on the right path, that he's not going to fall through the cracks, and that's going to celebrate his culture. I call KEMP kind of like a mini HBCU. And so I feel like it was important for him to learn in an environment in which he saw Black leaders, which he saw Black teachers, and which he saw other Black students doing very well. And so my son just graduated this year. He's going to Tennessee State on a full ride scholarship. And I truly believe it's because of the education that he got, because we were able to choose that school for him because that's the best environment for him to learn. And so that's one of the things. And then just real quick, another thing is to give teachers the ability to be the professionals that they were hired to be in the classroom. For far too long, they're kind of given red tape. Well, they're told, well, this is what you have to teach. This is when you teach it, and don't go off of that. And so teachers need to be able to be flexible in the classroom, to adjust to the needs in their classroom, because like you said, there are so many different learning styles. And at the end of the day, teachers need to be paid a hell of a lot more money, because it is so hard to teach so many kids. And for teachers to be successful, and to keep them, we need to pay them more money and support them while they're in our schools.
Yeah, because they're not just teachers. They got to be the counselor, the mom, the dad, the babysitter, the nurse. They got to be everything.
That's right.
Listen,
okay.
I never understood the reason teachers got paid so little, but these are the people who are molding the minds of our kids.
Yeah. They have such a huge
Okay. Let me go here, because I would like for you to do this for me, and that there is explain the difference between a charter school and a private school, because see, everybody can praise Woodward Academy.
Yes.
And all of its excellence in carrying on, and and everything it does for students and this, that, and the other. But yet, when it comes down to charter schools, whether they be private or public, there's always this whole this regimen that we get. Now, I'm from Detroit, okay, and so when charter schools was starting to become a thing there, everybody was up in arms, and then the whole idea of it being you had a choice whether you can send one to one gender or co-ed type schools. That became a whole big to do, and yet we could send our people to our boys to all boys schools. We could send them to the military schools. We could send them to this particular school or whatever. And then at the same time, want our kids to go to an HBCU, Morehouse and Spelman, that's all, single gender learning institutions. So explain that, and why you see that charter, a charter, and I like how you say it's one of these solutions. And I love how you said that. Explain that for me.
Yeah, so I'm actually glad that you asked the difference between a private school and a charter school, because this allows me to explain the point that all charter schools are public schools. There is, by law, no such thing as a private charter school. Well, charter schools are public schools. The difference is there are public charter schools and there's traditional public schools. And that's the traditional district schools that you're zoned to go to, right? But I like how you asked the question about the difference between a private school and a charter school, because you're right. We have Woodward Academy and Pace and all that stuff, but most people who look at us can't afford it. We can't afford to send our kids to these types of schools. And I think that is unfair and it's not right. And so the idea of charter schools is to give parents a choice within the public school sector. And so charter schools have to meet all of the requirements that a traditional public school have to meet, but they also have an extra layer of accountability. And their charter says if you don't meet these different expectations, then your school can be shut down. So every 5 years, those schools are reviewed. And if your school is not performing, that authorizer who gave you the charter can shut your school down. Now, with charter schools, they can charge tuition. Charter schools cannot. Charter schools by law cannot charge tuition, and they cannot select their kids. So I cannot, as a charter school leader, I don't know who my students are until they have actually registered for school. During the register, well, actually, until they are actually in the school.
In the school, right.
Yeah, because during the process of registering, so you have a lottery, and that's the only selection that happens. So every kid that applied, and if you have like space for 100 kids and 105 apply, all 105 of them get put into a lottery and their names are pulled. Not their, you don't get to see, oh, well, John has A+ grades at his previous school, or Susie has a bad discipline record. You don't get to see any of that until that kid's name is pulled and they're enrolled in the school. And so charter schools can't have any selection process. And so a lot of people try to point that out and say, oh, well, they're cherry picking the kids because a parent made a choice. Well, no, then that doesn't mean like throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like if you have a burning boat in the middle of the ocean, you're not going to say, well, you know what, let's not send as many boats out there to save them as possible. And, we're going to try to save as many people as possible instead of just letting the whole, boat burn down and sink. Right. So that doesn't hold water to me when people say, oh, well, those parents are the best parents because they made a choice. Well, I grew up in a household in which, there was drug addiction. I was raised by my great grandma. And my family was smart enough to lie about my address to get me into a good school. And so that doesn't mean that, you get the best families because they made a choice to send their child to a school.
Right.
Okay. You got one, Nikki?
No, I don't. Oh. Listen, y'all.
Okay.
Y'all know I'm here.
Okay.
But I hear everything he's saying because education is so important.
Right.
My granddaughter, and the reason why I brought up the thing about kids learning different. Meech, we know how smart Liliana is. Right. But sometimes she has trouble reading because, to me, I think she has like a slight case of dyslexia because it takes her, sometimes she gets the words mixed up. So it takes her a couple seconds or whatever to formulate it right. Mm-hmm. And nobody has ever really paid attention to that except me. So I'm like, hold on, Stink, you don't gotta have a meltdown. We just gonna figure it out.
Right.
Take a deep breath and figure it out. And that school that she came from Philly, remember when she was doing it in virtual and she was here? Yeah. That was Mass 3 Charter, and I love that school. Mm-hmm. I still reach out to Thomas Wexler if you watching. Hey, because all my kids, RASHAUN, all my kids are grown. Mm-hmm. The last one about to be 25, so I damn sure didn't know what was going on in second grade. Right. And I went to private and then parochial school up until I got to high school, which was a big, thing for me. I didn't know I could switch classes. Where I went to school, the teacher switched. There's a whole bunch of different things. So now that Lily spends school year here with us in Georgia, and then in Philly with her mom, so I'm in charge of and I'm responsible of making sure that her education is good. So yeah. I got a dog in this fight. I'm glad. I wish. Do I need to move to come over to you?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
I can make sure.
Let's go here. Let's go here because when we're talking about charter schools, I remember this being an issue in Detroit, and I don't know if it still is, but I'm gonna shape this with this argument, and that there is the whole idea of critical race theory. Yes, that is not being taught because that's not what this is. That's not a curriculum in the classes. It is a college study.
That's what I understand.
Essay writing kind of
right
course.
Now.
But when charter schools were becoming the thing, we had a lot of Afrocentric style teachers, and everybody was trying to make sure that they were blackity black, 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 and blackity black, and more black, and darkest night black, and this, that, and the other.
We got a multicultural one up in Philly, and I love their uniforms because they got like dashiki on the cuffs and stuff like that. The first time I saw it, y'all know I was happy as hell. I pulled my car. I was like, "What?" That's
okay. So with that, how is it that, or what is your vision for the curriculum with our educational system, and not just in charter? Because coming from up north, you know, I'm very prejudiced and critical when it comes down to the education system here in the South, because I'm not school age, so I've never been in it. I just know what I've been told, and based on my evidence dealing with folks, I kind of agree, okay, with what I've heard. But what can we do to strengthen the curriculum? Have history where history is history, and not the selected stuff that is becoming political fodder and carrying on. What is that for you, and how? And this is a two-parter. How is it that you are going to be able to maintain your integrity as a politician? Because this is cute now, because we hear you, but we all know that once we get up there behind, and we're right here, like it's somewhere, okay, we just happen to be in the capital city, y'all, and we okay, but getting down into that dome, and you know, now you got to get up in there and roll your sleeves up. I tell folks, I don't wear long sleeves, so I ain't got nothing to roll up, honey. We coming in here fighting,
right?
Okay. How is it that you're going to maintain your integrity with these fights and not be sucked up into the incubus, or the succubus rather, of the machine?
Yeah. Well, you know, for one, it's standing on your principles. This has coming into this process, this political process, it just shown me, you know, the kind of steel rod that I actually have in my back to stand for what I believe in, because I could easily, you know, cower to some of these accusations. Oh, he's a Republican because he supports charter schools, or they try to tie me to private schools because I support charter schools. But, you know, at the end of the day, I continue to stand for what I believe in. And, you know, even if there are people behind the scenes, you know, trying to, you know, support my opponent when they should not be in a Democratic primary, I'm still going to stand firm in what I believe in. And I can still work with people who I totally disagree with on everything else. Like I stand firm in my belief that I should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I stand firm in my belief that our kids should learn the true history of what happened in Georgia and in the United States. And so I will stand firm on that. And I celebrate, you know, charter schools that, you know, have, you know, Afrocentric curriculums, or, you know, that, you know, have curriculums that are ensuring that they are teaching kids about, you know, various, you know, trailblazers
and stuff.
And, you know, I salute like districts like APS that say, you know what, I don't care, you know, that they pass these laws that are trying to suppress what kids are taught. We're going to keep going down the course that we've been on, because we know that we're doing the right thing. You know, they, you know, passed this bill that, you know, pretty much they don't want, you know, white kids in the classroom to feel bad for what has happened in the past. Well, what about us that feel bad learning about what happened to people that look like us?
And it's continuing to happen.
Right.
We gotta live it every day.
That's right. Exactly. And, you know, now they're trying to do the whole "don't say gay" bill. They tried to introduce it in last legislative session. It's going to come back.
Right.
That's where like representation matters. That's where speaking up and fighting and speaking out is so important in, you know, politics. And so I'm going to continue to be the same person that stands firm in what I believe in. Yes, I'll work with people if they are, you know, trying to help our community. But I will also fight against you if you're not. And, you know, at the end of the day, come back and work with you on something that we may be able to find some common ground on.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate with this question here.
Yeah.
Because I too believe I celebrate and I fight for the right for a woman to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Although my personal belief is opposite that. Okay, in my personal life. Okay. But politically, no, you know, and I've said this on a few occasions, and that there is, well, that's probably why God made me gay. Okay.
It's on my nerves.
Okay, because as much as I want to have children or whatever, a woman could not come to me and tell me that she did that to my baby. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't come to me and do that. She could not. Okay. Now that's not to say I'm telling her she can't. Is that if she did, you better not come tell me. You know what I'm saying? But that's my personal belief. However, on the whole or whatever, girl, I'm not God. I don't understand what the struggle is or whatever, honey. I'm going to be here and make sure that whatever is done safely, we're not backdooring it, we're not this, that, and other. And I use that example because we have a number of people who don't know how to separate their personal beliefs from what's best for the constituency. So let me do that. Standing on your own principles, where is it that you would draw the line between my principle versus, okay, what is good for the constituency?
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, like you mentioned when you were getting ready to bring me on, that, as a representative, yes, I represent my district, but also decisions that we make impact the whole state. And so I think that's where it's important to have your pulse on the community. I've built a grassroots campaign, and I want to continue that throughout my, the time that I'm serving as a representative. I think that's where it's important to not have career politicians that think that they've been made God and that they're just going to make decisions without engaging their constituents. And I think that's what a true representative does, is that they engage their communities, they hear what is important to them. And I think you, at the end of the day, have to balance that as a representative. You have to balance, okay, this is what the community wants. And there are some things where you do have to draw the line and say, well, you know what, that is just something that I fundamentally do not believe in. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a Democratic seat. And, the vast majority of things we're going to agree with. There are some things that we may not. Then, there are some things that, some folks may say, you know what, I can't rock with him on that. And so, I respect you for that. And you may support my opponent. But at the end of the day, going back to, what you were saying prior to bringing me on, don't try to dictate what happens in my home because of your beliefs. And so that's where I think there's a big difference between Democrats and Republicans, and that, they will, love to say, you know what, I don't like that you can do that. So no, as a woman, I don't care if I'm a man or I'm just sitting down at the Capitol. I'm not in the doctor's office with you. I'm telling you what you need to do. Or I'm not in your bedroom, but I don't like what you're doing. So I'm going to try to expose and, do all these negative things. Because, or these underhanded things, that's right. In my race. They've done some underhanded things that, definitely are, pretty homophobic. But, at the end of the day, it's about, respecting people's rights and knowing what you truly believe in and balancing all of that.
Okay. Yeah, Tracy, I'm going to do that. Let me do this.
What Tracy said?
He wanted me to periodically. He said, could you periodically tell us who your guest is for those of us just joining in?
Oh,
yes,
hey,
darling.
Trace.
Listen, for those of you who are just tuning in, you see the name down there, RASHAUN KEMP. Okay, this
No
is
relation.
No relation. If you are here in Georgia, he is no relation, honey, to the incumbent governor.
That man.
Okay, no relation. Okay, in fact, no, that's his married name. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me try to get all in his business.
Right. And he is our candidate in a runoff election for Georgia State Representative for District 61 here. Okay, so if you're not here in Atlanta, I need for you to pay attention to this anyway, because I'm sure wherever you are, you're going to have runoffs and things of that nature for your state representatives. And I'm hoping that what you're gleaning from here will be something that you can take to your races and carry it on and get to your candidates or even your incumbents, those who are already in the seats, and be like, okay, you know what, listen, this is what we need to do. And this is some of the things that we need to become unilaterally cohesive with. You understand?
And remember this, we tell y'all this all the time. You have to know what's going on locally, because if the only time you ever vote is for governor and president, it don't make a damn difference if you didn't vote for your city councilman, for your
Right.
this person, your state
Right.
representative. If you
Right.
didn't vote for them, you don't even know what the hell they're doing. Stop talking shit because you don't know what's going on no way. So don't worry about what they doing because you wasn't worried before.
Okay, how about that? Okay, the only choice for District 61. Come on now.
I hear that. Come on, support us.
ABC.
Okay, we need someone like him here in Philadelphia. What you say
Baby,
now?
we need
Okay.
Trace. I didn't even leave the airport yesterday. I flew out of Georgia, came to Philly, dropped Lily off, and got right back on the next flight. I'm
Okay.
scared to be in my own damn city. It's like the OK Corral up there. They
How
need
about that?
everything.
Okay, now I'm glad you went there. Well, the OK Corral. So let's go here because your passion is education, and that there, as I was doing my research on you, that there has become my everything. I'm like, oh my God, and let me say this: it is good to see Black men in the educational chair,
Yes,
in
God.
the education seat. When I was a kid, we had several Black teachers, Black male teachers that were not just in gym, okay, or the damn football coaches or whatever. We had actual teachers. Mr. Bailey was my math teacher and carrying on. Okay, we had Black
Go ahead. Finish,
male.
I'm gonna tell you in a
He was the vice principal and carrying on. We had that in place during my formative years of school. Over time, well, no, not over time. Essentially, the whole idea of education has always been a woman's thing, you know. But when we get men to embrace it, particularly Black men, it does something to my heart when we see men take an interest in grooming our babies.
Yes.
Okay, and that there is an extension of fatherhood, especially for those who come from single parent households, and et cetera, et cetera. But I know your passion is education. But let's go here because along with that, my due diligence with you is to see where your stance is on everything else, because we're still dealing with the police situation and you know what's going on as far as getting, you know, trying to break down that blue wall of confidence and things of that nature. You know, the children are just doing what they're gonna do. We need to get rid of the road cops or whatever. What is it that you're going to bring in the fight for better policing? What we keep saying we want better training, but nobody even know what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
I hate when they say that because
we don't even know what it means or what it's supposed to look like. So I want you to give us what your vision is when it comes down to safety and guns and all of this with this particular argument.
Yeah, that is one thing that is really a big deal, especially in communities in House District 61. I hear this all the time. They mention public safety. And so one of the things that I believe that we need to do is have more community policing. And when I say that, I mean, I remember when I was little, you know, I'm from Ohio, so I'm right from next door.
Come on,
you right up there with us then. Okay.
Yeah. Come on, neighbor. I used to party in Toledo and carrying on, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm from Columbus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember like there were times when you would like see the police like, but out in the community, like, you know, they like,
around, they
and like they come like have a good time, like giving out popsicles to the kids, or you know, I don't know if they do that down here. I haven't seen them do that. They like open the fire hydrants.
They don't do that down here.
Don't do that no more.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Like,
so the police would come out when they did that, and I think we need more of that. It's about relationships, and
they used to have the key to turn it on.
Yeah.
They turn it on.
Okay.
But it's stuff like that needs to happen, because you know what has happened is there's this misconception that Black communities don't want public safety. We do. We just want respect when you're keeping our community safe. And so that's what I feel like is the expectation. We want people to be present, be in our communities, but don't come in thinking that you're going to do it without forming relationships. I do think mental health is real. And I think that there are so many different calls that police have to make that police are not necessary. And so we do need to rethink policing and how they are called out on different situations. You know, my husband is a school counselor, and, you know, there's so much that happens in schools and with mental health that I think so much of it is we do need more mental health professionals that are there to address some of the things that are happening in our communities. And it doesn't require.
And to go out on those calls.
Yes.
Now, this is TV, but I literally just saw this last week on SWAT. And I
Okay.
don't know what episode it was because I don't usually watch regular TV, but I just so happened to be watching it. And the police were called, and it was like a mental health situation. And the one man, it was like outside of his shop. So he knows the man. The man was homeless, but he knew him. So he went out there and started talking to him. And the police started getting rowdy with him. But he was already diffusing the situation. They came and riled it back up. So then Shamar Moore's character was saying if they had mental health workers, that's your job, would be the job on the force. So when you get one of those calls, they are going out to try to diffuse it, as opposed to, because how many people are getting killed because they're having a psychotic episode? You know, they're having a schizophrenic breakdown. I worked in mental health for a long time, so I know what it is for 10 people to be in your head at once. And for them, it's like real, like the conversation we're having right now.
Right.
They don't realize, somebody who's never known about mental health and stuff like that does not realize that those voices they're hearing are real to them. And if they got voices telling them to do good stuff, bad stuff, and cook dinner all at the same damn time, you have to be trained in knowing how to handle that. And I think something, even though that was on TV, I think that's something that should be looked at, because people are getting hurt and getting killed, and they have their mentality isn't stable, and it's not fair.
That's exactly it. Yeah, and, you know, then also I do think that we need to do something about recidivism and helping to reduce that. There are, you know, people that, you know, once they get out, they return to do the same thing. So I do believe that there is more that we can do with our criminal justice system. You know, when I lived in the West End over in like Mosley Park, you know, our house just kept getting broken into, and it was sometimes the same people. But, you know, our justice system was not, you know, doing anything about it. So I do think there are things that need to be done. But, you know, also we have to address the root causes of crime, because a lot of it is because someone doesn't have, or, you know, they did not get the right education, or they did not have a father figure or somebody in their life to put them on the right path, or they were not given the opportunity to have a second chance to really get on the right path. So absolutely, I think we need to decriminalize marijuana, because Black people are multiple times more, you know, prone to get arrested and have, you know, records because of that. So, you know, there's so many different things that we need to do with our justice system that impact our community so negatively. But at the end of the day, I think relationships are so important, and also making sure that our communities are kept safe, because we want safe communities just like anybody else.
How will you deal with, Beach, remember you talked about this, like when Obama was in office, right?
Yeah.
People talk so much trash. Oh my God, he ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing. Well, first of all, that's a lie.
Yeah.
You got to clean up 8 years of a mess.
Right.
But like the things where he would have to fold on one thing so that he could get something else. How will you deal with situations like that? Because people won't know that. You know, they won't know that RASHAUN was fighting for the decriminalization of marijuana, the school rights, and, you know, more training before you let these people out of jail or something like that. But they only give you one of those. So then the other two, people are like,
why
he ain't even do nothing.
Right.
Or it will be, I was up to decriminalize marijuana, but I had to, in order for me to do this, they tied my hands, and I had to sit down there and say, you can buy 15 AK-47s at the age of 17.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever that was, the give and take is never the same.
Right.
You know, so that there is the real of it, and that there is what I mean about keeping your integrity, because we know once we get behind that dome and in those closed sessions,
that's what happen.
Yeah.
We get into executive session, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Executive session is where all of the deals are made.
Yeah.
And on the golf course, of course.
That's right.
You know,
Right.
so what is that? Because there's a lot at stake here, and in order to keep your integrity, and then also to look at what your legacy would be, because you know, a lot of times we say, okay, they voted against this, they voted against this, they voted against this, but we don't know what was all in the bill to say why they didn't approve it or whatever the case may be. So what's that for you?
Yeah, you know, that's one of the things I've actually, you know, heard President Obama say, or maybe I've read it in his book, that's one thing he would have done better is telling his story. He didn't do the best job at selling the things that they got right or the things that they were able to stop. And I think that's important. That's where communication is so important. And also at the end of the day, it's about building relationships. And, you know, folks are going to know where your red lines are. And, you know, they're going to, you know, sometimes try to get you as close to that red line as possible. But, you know, I know for certain, like I would never vote to, you know, have AK-47s in a 17-year-old's hand to get, you know, something else. Like there are just certain things that I would not, you know, cave on because I know how dangerous guns are in our communities. I know you just use it as an example, but
yeah,
you know,
because I said that because it's outrageous.
Right.
And oftentimes, you know, DC being stupid, the sandwich shop was closed when he got there. Look, listen, greedy.
DC, you play too much.
Oh Lord.
But to that point though, you know, now that we're talking about that's your stance on public safety. Let's look at again. Here's another one of these terms that's so broad that when it comes down to our communities, we have to get as specific as possible to the needs of our community. And you touched on it a bit when we talk about the closing of the hospital, and that there is what is healthcare to you? What does that mean for comprehensive healthcare for your district and ultimately for the state of Georgia?
Yeah, healthcare is, you know, me sitting in the back waiting room and not having to hear you say you don't have health insurance right now. I think that is something that is not a privilege in this country or in this state. I think that our governor and our Republican leadership have failed at, you know, keeping Georgians safe and healthy. We see hospitals closing, not just in, you know, Fulton County, but, you know, in rural parts of Georgia where people now have to travel miles to get access to healthcare. And so to me, quality healthcare is everyone having insurance. And so ultimately, I would like to see something like a Medicare for all or something passed. I know that is super progressive and something that's not going to happen with a Republican controlled legislature. But I think that's where we eventually have to go, because it should not be that, you know, I have an emergency and I can't get that taken care of because I don't have health care or access to dental care or eye care. And I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's our responsibility as citizens to fight for that and to ensure that we are not electing people that are counter to our own personal health and interests, and our lives are at stake. Like it's truly our lives, like literally. You know, if there's an emergency that happens, somebody's life is going to be impacted because it's going to now take them longer to get to a hospital if they live south of I-20. And so at the end of the day, it's about ensuring people have access to what they need in their communities. And that's when you get to equity. You know, for far too long, we talk about equality. You know, if, you know, everybody should have the same amount, you know, at the end of the day, when we look at our communities are already set back because of things that happened in the past. So we need to keep it 100% when we say that, you know what, if for our communities to have any type of equality, sometimes we need more than what maybe a community has. And so at the end of the day, you know, that is what it's all about. It's about ensuring that everybody has insurance, that is not an arm and a leg, and that insurance companies are not dictating what happens in our doctor's office and our hospital rooms, or being able to object to us getting the medicine that we need because the doctor says we do, but an insurance company objects to that. And so it's about, you know, reining down costs for sure. I love what Senator Warnock is doing with insulin. You know, these types of things are about people's lives, and it should not be politics or about money. It should be about making sure that people have what they need to live happy, successful, and healthy lives.
Okay.
I was just thinking about that time. Remember me when I had to go, when my doctor called the ambulance and sent me to the hospital?
Right.
And I paid out of pocket for my doctor because I didn't have insurance. When Georgia decided a person who has sickle cell is not disabled anymore, I ain't disabled anymore. I don't know. But I still walk around with this power port in my chest for whatever blood transfusion I got to get, right? She sends me to the hospital because my blood pressure was so high. I get there. When I left that night, my bottom number was still over 100. And I knew that was all about not having insurance, because never in the history of me, what did I do? You guys said, what happened?
We hear you.
Listen, I don't know what you said.
Good.
Never in
You're
the
telling the
history
truth.
of
You know how they get with us when we start talking, girl.
Right. They do that all the time to us. But never would they ever let me leave the hospital with my blood pressure bottom number being over 100. Being at 99, they wouldn't. And I was like, wow, this is what it's like to not have insurance?
Right.
That was crazy to me. Because for me, my blood pressure being raised can cause me to have a sickle cell crisis. Just like if I was in sickle cell crisis, it automatically raises my blood pressure. So it's this two-ended thing that I go through a lot. And because I didn't have insurance, I was back home, even though I didn't mind, because I've been taken care of naturally and stuff for the last few years. So I didn't mind, but I was like, damn, well, so I could just go out here, walk out and have a stroke. That's cool with y'all?
Okay. Okay, DC says, name 3 things you would do in District 61 that hasn't been done over the past 19 years.
That's a really good question, man. So one thing is I will get access to quality healthcare into our communities. You will not hear me say as a sitting representative that the only thing that we have to do is pass a budget. I will be a fighter and engaged in our community and recognize that, you know, not everything I have to have a hand in, but things of that level of importance, I will do everything that I can to make sure that we have access to quality health care that other communities have across this region. Secondly, I believe, you know, this is one area where me and my opponent, you know, strongly disagree. I think that there does need to be some adjustments to the City of South Fulton charter. He does not want to touch it. But, you know, he wants to touch it to kind of weaponize and, you know, to go against some of his political foes and support his friends. That's not how I operate. I want to operate in a way in which this government, city government, is working for the people. And you don't have all this infighting and bickering in the City of South Fulton. There is so much, you know, so many stalemates and things that happen. And I think that, you know, adjustments to the charter would help with that. And then thirdly is education. I will bring more quality access to education and improve our schools. And I think that we do that by, one, ensuring that teachers are paid more. And so that impacts all schools, but also not opposing the idea of public charter schools being in our communities. Because at the end of the day, as I talked about at the top of this, there are very successful schools that our kids are learning in, and that we need to see more of those, especially ones founded and led by school leaders of color. To me, that represents self-determination and power and entrepreneurship.
That's Chagalia, baby.
Yeah, and so I want to see more of that, not less of that. And my opponent actually wants to see less of that.
Okay, you know, that's principle 2 of Kwanzaa, honey. Coochie Chagalia, that's my favorite principle, honey. Self-determination. Yeah. That's my favorite principle. Yeah. Okay. All right, now let me ask this. And that there is, I know during the presidential debates when President Obama was running, we heard this term, pork belly spending. I know here on the state level, we are hearing that that the conservative right and carrying on are saying that we don't have the money for this, we don't have the money for that. And it's unnecessary spending. Where did you see your fight with coming up for funding for some of these things that you're talking about doing? Because it's going to take funding for the schools, for the teachers to get paid. There's a whole big controversy with the lottery system and, and how that money's supposed to go to the schools. And after they get through paying everything out, the winners, the overhead, and this, that, and the other, it doesn't seem as though that money is going to the schools or a nice amount should be going to the schools. So in that, where did you see yourself as far as fighting for the funding for a lot of this stuff? And as opposed to taxes, because of course, if you raise a tax, baby, they're coming for your head.
They're coming for you.
But sadly, that's what Republicans are doing. They keep trying to cut taxes without recognizing the need for services in our communities. And I think that's where Democrats and Republicans differ, that we know that there is a role that government should play, especially in leveling the playing field in our communities. And so for me, I am not opposed to, current tax rates. And, then, one thing I don't think that we need to do is keep trying to roll back taxes, because there are important things that need to happen. For example, paying teachers more, or, getting more access to healthcare, or, one thing that Georgia's leaving money on the table, getting federal money for expanded Medicare. That will create more jobs and ultimately will, add more revenue to the state. And so, we do, differ from the federal government in that you have to have a balanced budget in the state. You can't, kind of run on a deficit like the federal government can. And so, yes, and it's about priorities to me. It's about putting our money in areas that are most important to us. And to me, that is education and healthcare, and not finding ways to cut spending in those areas, because I think it's really important that we're paying teachers more, we're getting more quality access to healthcare, we're insuring people, and that we're not having hospitals closed down.
Okay. Now, DC asked a question that was going to be one of my questions down the line, and that is, what can we do to see more economic development in District 61? And I think he meant in both. He got countries. I know he means counties. But let me do an addendum to that too, because in addition to more economic development, what is it that we can do to have economic development that won't drive up the damn rent and stuff to cause everybody to be homeless? Because we got folks sitting up here. I'm in College Park, okay, and I know we all want beautiful things. We all want the niceties and carrying on. But damn it, I get tired of us always going after the damn high rises that's $2.5 million or whatever, and then you building homes that's $500,000, and then those of us who over here, our rent and stuff is going up out of the way because y'all trying to have the niceties, and then you're squeezing everybody out. So,
but not only raising the rents though, they're raising the hits on things that it doesn't match up.
Right.
If people are not earning more money, you're raising their rent, and then where they live. Like I also live in College Park, and I just went through what Meech just went through. They just raised my rent $200. You ain't do nothing to upgrade this house.
Yeah.
What happened? There's nothing that changed right here that for me as a regular citizen that would warrant $200 more. Did you look somewhere and saw that I got a raise or something? Because I'm trying to understand how everything else can keep going up, but people's pay is staying the same.
Right.
Well, to y'all's point, one thing that needs to change in Georgia is the ability for municipalities to impose rent control policies. And so right now it's against state law to have rent control in municipalities. And so that's one thing I'm definitely in support of. When you see rents rising 50-60% year over year, you are pricing people out of living in the communities in which they live, work, play, grew up, were raised. And so I think that's totally unfair. And of course, everything hits Black communities harder. And so going to y'all's question and DC's question, so District 61 is over 70% Black. And so I believe that we need to invest more in Black and small businesses, especially Black-owned businesses, and getting them access to state contracts, which, the vast majority, by the lion's share, goes to, Caucasian-led companies. And so we need to look at the processes by which contracts are awarded, but not only the process, but preparing our businesses for whatever that process is.
Yes.
I think that's a responsibility that is so important, that we're bringing in resources and education and training into our communities that truly prepares people to be able to be contractors with the state. And also beyond that is, working to reduce the level of the growth of warehouses in our communities. That is one thing I hear so often when I'm on the campaign trail, is that people are tired of the warehouses that are popping up in House District 61, whether that be in Fulton County or in Douglas County. Because if you go down Kemp Creek and it turns into Thornton, there's still warehouses all
everywhere, baby. Okay.
Yeah. And those are dollars that aren't staying in our district. They're going and, to give money to somebody in New York or California or somewhere else that's owning these companies. And so we need to see true growth of small and Black-owned businesses in our communities. And I think the state can help that with small business development, with working with businesses to prepare them to have contracts with the state, and of course, training and apprenticeships, which I think are so important to prepare people to have the high quality jobs that are, going to keep them sustainable through life. And so that's also attracting businesses beyond the, warehouses that are popping up in our communities.
Okay. That's cute. Let's go into what everybody waiting on me to ask.
Okay. All right.
Let's go into what everybody waiting on me to ask. Okay. Because I can go on and on.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hold you, because you are a married man, honey, with children, and I understand what that means. Okay. But since I'm on that, let's talk about that, because here we are. You and I are both alphabet children. I say alphabet children because, for me, to say LGBT right now we're no longer a demographic anymore, honey. We are a special interest group. To say LGBT now means that we are a special interest group. And in the political realm, a lot of this back and forth that you've been experiencing, or what has just been reported, or all this little influx or whatever, has now been they putting Black against LGBT, and here you are at the intersection. Okay. How is it, first off, coming into this, you said at the beginning that you and your husband sat down to make this decision. Y'all saw Michelle and Barack on it, because they were like, okay, wait a minute, let's talk. Okay. But to get into this, knowing that your entire life is up for grabs now, because, for our media, so hell, media gonna want to get into business. Everything that you do now, honey, from the color of your underwear to the kind of cream style corn that you had, was it Kroger or Del Monte? Everything becomes scrutinized. So what is that for you now, being alphabet, and now only thing that's on people's minds? I wanted to leave this last because I wanted them to hear all of the stuff that you are about before we got here, because everybody only want to focus fucking here.
Yes. Yeah. There's so much more to us, and you talked about this, Meech. There's so much more to our lives than, who we love. But, when I got into this, I knew that people would, want to know, or, have questions. I didn't expect it to get to where it got, honestly, to where, a text message was sent out to try to, sensationalize my relationship. They, stole a picture from our wedding and sent it out to voters, to
I know you lied.
Girl, politics is dirty,
y'all
baby.
see I'm on my good behavior. I ain't cuss.
Politics is dirty, baby.
I know these bastards did not do that. They did.
It's crazy. Yes. And to try to make it seem like it's for me, but at the end of the day, I truly believe that representation matters, and it's important for our community, especially the Black community, to see that the LGBTQ community is not just like this monolithic community where everybody's the same. You know, I have friends that know nothing about sports or politics, and, you know, but, you know, I'm a gay man that loves sports. I love politics. And, you know, we have so many different facets to our lives. You know, we have people that aren't married and people that are. You know, I have a beautiful family, and I want people to see that. Like, I'm not afraid of that. So I've run a campaign just like I'm sorry to get an email. No, that's sad. I have I've run a campaign just like any other, you know, person in a relationship would. So my husband and family were on my first mailer that went out to thousands of people in this district. They are on my website, as you saw. So I don't hide it. I also don't feel like it's my responsibility to come out every time I talk to someone. There was a city councilwoman in South Fulton who said I was deceiving, quote unquote, deceiving voters because I don't put my husband on everything that I send out. Well,
everybody put their phone
nobody does that. Right, exactly. Right. Nobody does that. But you know what I do know is that I have a beautiful family. I have a husband who is a successful school counselor, making a difference in lives and kids every day. That is helping them with mental health. I have a son who is going to college on a full ride scholarship. And I have a beautiful 1-year-old daughter. Well, we're celebrating her birthday tomorrow. She's going to be 1 year old, actually on Election Day, June 21st. But we're celebrating.
All right, come on, Gemini. She right before that cusp before it turn. Yes, little girl. Yes, you're going to be great. Princess.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So I have a beautiful family that I absolutely love, and they've been amazing and supportive. But I also don't think I have to come out every time I talk to someone because I don't have anything that I have to prove to anyone except for earning your vote because of all the things that we talked about prior to this.
Right. Okay. Now let's do this.
Yes.
Because I've been accused of this. You know,
what you done did?
Honey, the children love running to tell on somebody, right? But this here, I was on another show and I got into a huge debate because I was told that if someone is Black and LGBT, that I'm going to put my vote there automatically because they're LGBT.
Was it Joe Brown?
No. But one of his, no. But the what I want to go to you is this, and that we're not a monolith community, but a lot of folks don't understand our struggle as a Black alphabet, and then dealing with our LGBT counterparts, because you know, a lot of people don't understand that we still deal with internalized racism. We still deal with all of the other obias and phobias and things that within, you know, our particular diaspora. So what is that for you to help bridge that gap? Because there are a lot of white gay Republicans, you know, who support a lot of this little buffoonery and foolishness. There are Black gay Republicans that support this foolishness. Herschel Walker's son being one of them. Okay.
Herschel and
the one he claimed, right? Because now we know he got another one.
Wait, listen. Okay, that's yeah. What you say, Miss Crystal? Okay, right, because that's what I call her, Miss Crystal. Okay. Openly gay, but doesn't identify with the. Anyway, that's her business. Never mind. But in that, how is it that this particular walk for you would be? I don't want to say different because this is not. This is a walk, and I think you're going into uncharted waters. Do you have any expectations, or what is it that you are hoping to gain? What are you looking to learn from while you're on this, particularly coming from the idea that everybody who your kinfolk ain't your kinfolk, and everybody say, "Hey, fam, honey," they ain't fam, honey. You know how we are. The family reunion, we got to deal with them from a distance.
Right. Yeah,
You can't eat everybody's potato salad.
right. People that aren't in this community don't understand that even within this community, there's inequities, there's inequality. Yes, there's racism. There are things that people, just because they are white and gay, get access to that we don't.
Yes, that we
Oh,
don't.
Meech, you talk about that all the time.
Yeah, and a lot of them are ignorant to it. They don't know. Some of them, are purposely ignorant to it.
Right.
But it's we run the same thing within this community that we do in the larger community, having to educate people, having to ensure that there are equities within our community, that we are getting what we need. I did not even know this until I probably a month ago. Well, a little over a month ago now, maybe 2 months ago, that I will be the first Black openly gay man elected to the Georgia legislature. Like, we're still having first. I had no idea.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I had no idea about that. But, that's where I get to, representation matters, because more people need to see that, we are not going to come in and, just put a rainbow flag on top of the Georgia Capitol, or we're not getting ready to just try to turn everybody gay. Like, no, we care about so many other things. Like, we care about voting rights and healthcare and education and all that stuff, because that impacts our lives and everybody else's lives. And so at the end of the day, it's about, getting people to see that there's, like you said, that we're not a monolith. There is so much more to our lives and so much more that we care about. And, going back to what I said, at the end of the day, when I walk out this house, the vast majority of people don't know who I'm married to. They do know I'm a Black man, and that my interaction with a police officer is more likely to cause me harm than a white man would. And so I don't have this extra privilege because of who I love. I actually have, sadly, an extra burden, especially with
It's more.
Right. Let's just be real.
How will you answer stuff? Like, when they come at you with the ignorant things that they try to put into a question, but really is comments, because they just want to be able to get a reaction out of you. Like, I can't even think of something crazy to say. I don't know. But when they come at you with the crazy comments about, about your husband or whatever, how do you respond to that? Because for me, I'd be like, you voting for me because I can do the job, or you vote for me because of who I'm married to? Now, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
that's why I can't be in the front in politics, because y'all know they're gonna be like, no, not her.
Yeah.
How are you handling that? Because I know it got to be some ignorant stuff happening.
Oh yeah, it's definitely some ignorant stuff. I mean, like I said, with the councilwoman, saying that, spouses matter. Like, you're a sitting councilwoman saying stuff like this. Like, what you're saying, and people picked up on it real quick. Like, we know what you're trying to say here. We know what you're trying to do. Because honestly, the candidate that she was supporting never even showed his spouse at all. Until most recently, we just got one now after I called it out. Of course, we get a mailer with his wife on it. So I'm willing to call people out. I do it in a respectful way because, I do want to be mindful that, I have an 18-year-old son that's watching me that I'm setting an example for. And I want him to be able to handle things the right way and know that, you don't always have to pop off and things like that. Does it take a lot? Yes, it takes a lot in me to not, want to go off, especially, seeing that text message that was sent out. But at the end of the day, you just got to keep pushing, and you just got to keep fighting for what you believe in, because I know the difference I can make. I know the responsibility that is in me to be able to show my great grandmother that, what she invested in me was worth it, and being able to show an example, for my son and my daughter, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And it's not, buying into or being drugged into some of this pettiness that, people, have. And honestly, it's about being small-minded. Honestly, there's so much more to people than what people try to put us in a box to be. And so that ultimately is my responsibility.
Okay.
If you ever need somebody to just cut somebody off with, just
okay.
Like, we're on
what you say? I'm gonna do one final question.
I got a spouse that's very willing to do that. I mean, you having to hold him back.
I'm gonna do one final question with you.
They won't even know they've been cussed out until later.
And that is going to be this. After all that we just said about our white counterparts and how much we are a special interest group and this, that, and the other, we still, as an alphabet community, have, we have issues, and a lot of folks want to call it an agenda, but we have issues that are on the table. And a lot of folks may be looking to you like they looked at President Obama to help the black folk, and they may want the rainbow hookup, okay? But my question specifically is, what do you see for us as alphabet children as some of the issues that we're facing that you'll be willing to fight for that is us specifically? When we're talking about diversification in jobs, and the job format, the trans community is looking to be separate from the LGBT because they're not a sexuality. Trans is not a sexual identity. Trans is a gender role.
It's gender identity.
It's gender identity. It has nothing to do with sexual attraction or whatever. So they're looking for independence and autonomy. We're looking at gay businesses and things that thrive. And I'm promoting a lot of Black-owned businesses, but I'm also in rebuilding Black Wall Street. I want to build Black gay Wall Street because the Black gay dollar has never been, exercised and engaged in the way, when we talk about a Black Wall Street and carrying on. So have you put any thought into that? Or has that just been, or is it something that's there, but you're looking at it from the whole picture?
No, yeah, absolutely. It's something I've thought about because at the end of the day, no matter what my sexuality is, I'm a Democrat and I have Democratic, views. And my Democratic views aren't limited to, not caring about what happens in the LGBTQ community. So absolutely, that text message that was sent out said I'm trying to, push the pride agenda.
Here we go.
Yeah, well, that's what they said. Like, I wouldn't never even said that. But at the end of the day, I do believe that, LGBTQ rights are important in the overall agenda for our community.
Me too, Tracy.
At the end of the day, what we need is trans, people to be protected, especially Black trans women who are killed at a horribly higher rate than other people. What we need to do is to have NDOs, non-discriminatory, ordinance and laws, not only in municipalities, but at the state level. What we need to do is, making sure that we are supporting HIV education and awareness and things like that. So there's so much that, we need to do at the state level that needs to be done. One thing that I did already is speak out against, these Don't Say Gay bills that they were trying to bring. Because what they were trying to do, I think about my own kids. Like, okay, so they can't talk about our family in school because you see that as offensive. So my own daughter or my own son would not be able to bring up our family based upon what you're trying to do with our curriculum. And so we need voices like mine down at the Gold Dome to be able to get them to see, like, these are real families you're impacting. Like, I have a 1-year-old daughter that's going to be going to school that you're going to be impacting because of your small mindedness and what you're trying to do in our classrooms. And so, all those things are super important to me, just like every other issue like voting rights and healthcare are, because at the end of the day, it's all about human rights and equality and also equity that we need in our communities.
And you know what? Remember we talked about the thing about that when we were talking about the Don't Say Gay bill. And I'm like, so if a child is in school because their house is not a safe space to talk about how they're feeling,
right?
If they're having feelings of, liking somebody that's the same sex. I always thought that at school, that was the safe space.
Yes.
If a kid was being abused or something back in the day, if they told their teacher, it's like they're going to handle it for them because that's supposed to be a safe space. Yes. Now we have so many kids who are part of the alphabet community. And I say alphabet because I don't know who in charge of giving them damn letters, but they just keep getting added on. But when they're a part of that, or they may be just trying to figure it all out, You telling me you don't want that baby to be able to say that in school? I can't go to my counselor and say, at 14 years old, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I've heard y'all use your dad. I've heard my dad say, you got to be a man. But I don't feel like I should be playing football. I want to go and dance or whatever. That seems like they're going to take away the safe space from the kids. And that's just so effed up to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, who even came up with the don't say gay? Who came up with that?
It's crazy.
Like, first of all,
Okay.
and then to do it like in different states. So we go to Miami and I can't say gay.
Right.
Everybody I know in Miami is gay. What are you talking about? I travel with my 2 gay ass daughters. What are you talking about?
Yep.
So my daughters can't act gay and I can't say gay to them. Like my daughters say it all the time. Keisha be like, yeah, the gays. We the gays. Yeah. She put in the GPS that time. Siri, take me to the neighborhood. We was in Philly. She was like, Mom, I swear. And she put it in the Siri took us downtown to the place that I know all the gay people be. And how do you get around it? That's like the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
Listen, DC, would he support, what would he do to support the FPIM community? What the hell is
the hell is that, DC?
And you better not, it better not be it better not be nothing with no former pips in something.
Oh,
and
Lord.
That sounds more like what Red
I'm gonna beat his ass. DC,
that sounds more like Red. Is DC?
I'm gonna beat his ass if he come out.
He said earlier today he want to be the stripper commissioner. I wouldn't put it past him.
Oh, okay. Fat people in media.
They need a board.
Fat people in media.
Shut up.
Okay, listen. I thought it was former pimps and something. Okay.
That's funny because I was sitting here trying to think of, okay, what is he saying here? Because I know it ain't something I'm supposed to know.
He said fat people in media. Fat people in media.
Media community. Okay. You know what? Listen, I want to thank you for coming up here, and I want to give you the last words. Our early voting had ended today. For those of you who are out early to vote early for the runoff. This coming Tuesday, the 21st, is voting day. To make sure that you get out there to vote your conscience and carrying on. Please vote your conscience and your heart, not your damn buffoonery. Make sure that you got educated decisions versus stupid choices. Okay, but I'm gonna let you have this to let folks know what it is that you want them to know while you get ready to go tuck that baby in, honey. Because the 18-year-old is grown now; he on his own. So
18-year-old Brooklyn is already in bed. You know, she got to be in bed at 7 o'clock. She has her routine. Yeah. But you know, we just got to get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's our big birthday party, so I'm excited about that. We were actually putting up a tent before I came in here.
Okay.
For birthday. So I just want to say thank y'all. This has been great. I've enjoyed this. Thank you for touching on some very important things, and I love how you structured it to allow me to talk about all the issues that are so important. Yes. My relationship and, my family are super important. But, at the end of the day, I truly believe that I am the best candidate in this race because I have fresh ideas. I have ideas that actually can be implemented and that can be actualized. And I have experience, having been an educator and worked down at the Capitol to get laws passed, to get funding, and also being a fighter. I'm somebody that once I get something on my mind, I'm going to fight to accomplish it. And I've proven that in turning around the school and starting a business and also in raising a beautiful family. And so I'm just excited and honored about the possibility that's coming up next Tuesday. Please, if you're in House District 61, go out and vote if you've not already done that on Tuesday between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. If there's anybody out there that wants to help us out, we are not stopping until 7 p.m. on Tuesday. We will be knocking on doors like we've been doing, calling voters, engaging voters to get them to come out and vote. So please visit my website, RASHAUNFordGeorgia.com. You can give me a call, 404-491-0324, or find me on all social media platforms. And we'd love to have you as part of this campaign to transform House District 61.
Thank you so much. I know you win. I might be moving over there.
Yeah.
I'm about to start looking.
All right, come on over.
She
My
said, and
granddaughter
us
said, "Fuck that, kill it."
non-binaries. Okay, this was an astounding discussion. I'm so grateful to have you asking all the right questions. Well, bless your heart, baby. Thank you for
Alright,
that.
what's up?
Thank you for that. And RASHAUN for GA for Georgia. All
That's the
right.
husband right there. He's on it.
I was just going to say that. Now listen, let me let you get back to your husband, honey. Thank you,
Right.
husband. Thank you.
you.
Okay.
Tell my baby I said happy birthday. She gonna be
was him
pissed
telling us
just
to
'cause
wrap
she
it
just
up. Like, okay, y'all.
Okay. Thank you,
Tell that
husband,
baby
and
she
thank
gonna be
you,
special
baby.
because she a
And
Gemini.
listen,
Okay, happy birthday, baby.
okay.
Yeah,
Go
thank
ahead
you.
on back to your family. We thank you for this opportunity and
Thank
for spending
you.
time with us. And honey, we'll see what's happening Tuesday, baby.
We will.
Yeah,
Okay,
when you win, don't be
listen,
too
we gonna
big
see
to
what's
come
happening
back.
Tuesday because I need you. I
I'll
need you
definitely
in this
won't.
thing for November.
Okay.
Yes.
See,
You heard what I
it's
told him.
November, honey. Huh?
Don't get too big to come back after you win.
I'll be back. This is fun. I
No,
enjoy
no,
this.
because see,
Yes.
after Tuesday's going to decide who's running in November.
This is a democratically safe seat. I mean, still, of
Yeah.
course, have to get elected, but yes, there's still work to be done.
You
Absolutely.
gonna get it.
So,
We're gonna
yes,
stick that
baby.
on in there.
So
We're gonna
let's
stick
do
it.
that. Good night, my darling. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Thank
so
you, thank
much,
you,
Rashawn.
thank you.
Thank you.
And honey, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you tuning in, this is RASHAUN Kemp, honey. RASHAUN Kemp for state representative here in Georgia for District 61.
How dare them send out a blast on
Girl, can you stand it?
what the hell? Are we in fucking third
Yes,
grade?
yes,
What
yes,
the hell?
yes.
Is the man if you see that's the
Yes.
petty shit that if I was a person that was undecided and didn't know, that would make me vote for him. You know why? Because I would say, y'all that fucking petty that you can't find nothing politically wrong with
Right,
him.
not with his
That-
issues.
That,
And
yeah, the
and
only
that's
thing
what
he got is that he married to a man. Baby, if I didn't know, I would vote for him just for that because that's some ignorant shit. I wouldn't want to vote for a person who plays that dirty.
right. Right.
That's why I hate watching the campaign commercials.
Yeah, because when they start slinging mud and carrying on, listen,
It's
if you're
horrible.
not telling me about how they voted, I like when you sit down there and put their record up there. They did this, they did this, they did this. I don't need to hear about, the backhanded shit that you're trying to make a story out of. Okay.
Well, there's this one white man, Meech. I can't remember who it is. When the commercial come back on, I'm going to just look it up and send it to you because this commercial, subliminally, you can tell this motherfucker's racist as hell. And not the older man, not him. It's a younger guy. He was not young, but probably around our age or a little older.
Uh-huh.
His thing, the very end of his commercial, he says, "Cause we gonna take our country back."
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're talking
The first time I
about.
seen that
Yeah.
commercial, I said,
Yeah.
He's a Republican. White. We're gonna take our country back. What does that mean, sir?
Exactly. And listen, when it comes down to that, this here is what gets up just all in McCraw and carrying on. So that there is that. But listen, let's do this. Let's regroup. Let me take a small little commercial break. Yeah. And because when we come back, I'm hoping I can get this damn thing to play because my computer been running slow. And I done defragged, I done went through and I got rid of shit and carried on, but this girl just wanted to run slow. But I want y'all, I got a clip that somebody sent to me. And Miss Things that up here and said the reason why she got 6 baby daddies.
Oh, I sent that to you.
Okay?
Oh, no, wait. You sent it to me or did
I sent it to you. However, we yeah.
Baby. Yes, we got.
She broke it down, but
it made sense after the fact.
We're gonna get into it, honey. Right now, let me do this. We're gonna come back in just a few moments, honey. Y'all go pee, get something to drink and carry on. We'll be right back, okay? Okay. Now listen, you know what? I'm gonna start off with this because she said she got 6 children with 6 different baby daddies. She need a B condom. She need a B condom.
How you all doing? My name is Jason Panner and I'm the CEO and founder of B Condoms. Today I'm going to show you what it means to have the largest condom on the US market. As we can see, I have one of our Platinum XL B condoms in hand and I have a ruler right there. The ruler is about 18 inches, right? What I'm going to show you right now is how I can actually take our condom all the way down to my elbow, right? So what you can see We're pulling it all the way down. Now, keep in mind, not only do we have the biggest condom in the market, our condoms are also pH sensitive, they're vegan friendly, they're organic, and we don't contain any of the fillers that other brands have. B Condoms, biggest condom on the US market, takes you all the way down to the elbow. Make sure to protect the culture. Thank you and take care.
Angelo Ellerby, the Henry Higgins of hip-hop, is the founder, president, and CEO of Double Exposure Media Relations. Double Exposure Media Relations is a full-service public relations, marketing, and artist development firm specializing in publicity, photography, artist promotion and artist development, makeup artistry, event production, and EPK development. Celebrating over 45 years in the industry, Angelo believes that a culture that does not take care of nor respect its artists is a culture that leaves nothing behind to appreciate. Let Angelo help you make dollars and cents of the entertainment industry. Contact Double Exposure Media Relations at 201-224-6570. That's 201-224-6570. Attention all business owners. Use your advertising dollars here. Looking to reach a more diverse audience for your products and your services? Well, this is the platform for you. Dishing Tea Entertainment welcomes all businesses who wish to expand their brands and looking for clientele that's more than grown and sexy, but also the seasoned and sophisticated. For more information on how this spot can be yours, contact Big Meat at 404-914-5610 or go to our website at www.dishingtea.com.
Have you tried Big Rob Popcorn? It's a wonderful anytime snack that everyone will love. Available in 3 flavors. Grown and Sexy, which is the perfect mix of cheddar, cheese, and caramel. Sugar Shack, a fruitful flavored mix of watermelon and apple. So delicious and good. How about spicy butter and white cheddar? Everyone loves it. That's why it's called good. All Big Rob snacks are manufactured in an FDA-approved facility and flash sealed for freshness, safety, and worldwide delivery. To order, call or text 937-367-8650. That's 937-367-8650. Or contact Big Rob via Instagram at Hey Big Rob. As the holidays approach, take advantage of the holiday special. Purchase more than 2 bags and receive a free CD. Call or text 937-367-8650 to place your order now. Big Rob Popcorn, the perfect snack that you will love. It's so delicious.
Please wear your mask. Wear your mask. It is very important for you to put on that mask. This is not no joke, and this is not no rundown. Wear your mask. If you vaccinated or not, throw on that mask and stop lying, telling people you vaccinated and you know dang on well you ain't vaccinated. You over trying to get people sick. Stop lying, saints.
Hear the music.
Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Put on that mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Put on that mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Put on that mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Put on that mask. It is very important. Put on that mask. Put on that mask. Put on that mask. It is very important. And stop lying, telling people you vaccinated and you know dang on well you ain't vaccinated. You over trying to get people sick. Trying to get people sick. You over trying to get people sick. People sick. People sick. You over trying to get people sick. Trying to get people sick. You over trying to get people sick. People sick. People sick. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Put on that mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Put on that mask. I'm a key baby.
Y'all know I love playing that damn little stupid ass little clip, right?
Every time it comes on, it's like it's the first time.
Playing
like the
that
first
little thing
time.
right there. And that's probably one of the best remixes of all these little crazy little sayings that's out there. I my keys, honey. You did that. That child, honey, you did that. Okay. Oh my goodness, honey. Okay, we're gonna get into this real quickly, honey, because listen, tomorrow, if you are in the Atlanta area, darling, tomorrow, starting at 1:00 from 1 until 6, Passionate Riders Car Club and Passionate Riders Outreach Ministries will be hosting our 3rd annual Autism Awareness Fundraiser. Okay, we are going to be at the wait a minute, what's the name of the park? JP Mosley.
One out McDonough?
No, it's in Stockbridge. Well, same thing.
Oh, yes.
Okay. JP Mosley Park. Okay. I thought I had the damn thing up here. See, you know what? See, this is how God humbles me, because I thought I had it up here and I don't have that one. Okay. We're going to be out there doing our thing, honey, and doing it the way that we do. So we want you guys to come on out and to give us some support. It is a car and bike show. So that means if you are part of a car club and you want to come on out to be seen, whether you're a spectator or you want to enter the judging contest, we will be giving out trophies and prizes and carrying on. We're going to have vendors there, so you get your eat on, you drink on, and things of that nature. And it's going to be a fun time. We do want to thank the Henry County Commissioner Chair, Ms. Carlotta Harrell, who's going to be she and Henry County are going to be out there. They have come in to oversee this with us and carrying on and to lend her support to this worthy cause. Again, we're going to be out there, and all of our proceeds will be going to autism awareness. We will be having, I'm hoping that they secured somebody out there to speak on autism and carrying on. For those of you who have autistic children or want to come out there to be of support or whatever, I encourage you to come on out. This is going to be a wonderful day. Okay. Again, y'all see the address right there, 1041 Millers Mill Road, Stockbridge, Georgia, honey. Okay, automobiles and autism, darlings. Okay. If you don't want to come out or can't come out or don't feel like getting out into the hot sun or whatever the thing may be, if you want to make a donation, you see this cash app up here, $prom316. That's from Passionate Riders Outreach Ministries 316, Prom 316. You can send your donations there, and if that's your thing, in the description box, just put Dishing Tea donation, okay, or just from Dishing Tea donation, okay, and that will go right there, okay, or just put Big Meat. Big Meat sent me, okay.
I heard that.
Prom 316, $ Prom 316, if you want to make any kind of donation to autism awareness. And all of our proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, are going to autism awareness. Okay. And for those of y'all who don't understand or are curious as to why we chose that particular charity, and that's because y'all know Big Red, honey, his son is autistic.
Yes.
Okay, his son is autistic, and he has been doing this as far as the car club is concerned. This is our 3rd annual, but he's been a part of doing something with the autistic community, honey, since his son been in his life, and his son is now 17 now.
Yeah.
So went to the prom, honey. Did you see the prom pictures?
I did.
Oh, child. Okay, looking all dapper. And saying, I said, look at my nephew. Go, nephew. Okay. Okay. So now let's get into this, and then after that we're gonna let you guys go, because I'm doing this because this came across the desk. Actually, we could have just went home because RASHAUN just shut this down for me.
And he
Okay.
absolutely did. But y'all need to see this to go up or have something. But baby, she gonna make you think. I promise you.
Yeah, she gonna make you think. Okay.
Because I got 5
just
kids, and I
screen.
really wish after hearing what she had to say, now I wish maybe
What
had
you
different
say?
daddies.
Okay. All right, y'all ready? Hold
Different baby daddies.
A lot of people got something to say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just going to tell y'all why
Okay.
it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month.
She breaking it down.
If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17%
All right, here we go.
from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one.
Okay.
$340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So why don't you have 6 baby daddies?
So this is some sage for you.
Woman explains why she has 6 kids by 6 different baby daddies.
Baby, and you make sure you get something that got high incomes. She teaches y'all how to break it down. Make sure if you're gonna have different baby daddies, you got ones that's really getting some money, okay? Because the percentages go up the more money they make. It got me rethinking. I'm like, wait a minute.
I sat up here, and when I first saw it, I was like, "Girl," and I said, "And she's serious.
She was dead ass serious.
She is dead
And if
ass
she
serious."
wasn't, she's a hell of an actor, girl.
But here's the thing, though, because see, are we mad at her?
I don't know what to be. I don't know.
Because
I really
I
don't know what
don't
to be.
either. I don't either. Because it's easy to make a judgment call, right? And so they say, "Oh, girl, now what's your family looking like?"
I was getting ready to say what, because you know what? Because it's a double standard too. How many kids Erykah Badu got?
Oh,
she got a few.
Yeah.
None of them got the same baby daddy. And just imagine, you got an Andre 3000, you got a DOC, another. All her baby daddies get money. I'm not saying she got them on child support, but if you're a person that does that, think about it in that way. And it's so funny how we don't remember. Here's a perfect example of this, Meech. Remember on the stories when we was little, when mom and grandmama was watching the stories. Baby, everybody on there was a hoe, but your number was looked at like one. Reba from goddamn what was Reba on? As the World Turns?
Reba was God and not God and Light. She was Reba was.
It was either God Light or As the World Turns.
No,
because it's Young and the Restless. Remember, it used to be Young and the Restless, Bold and Beautiful, God and Light.
I guess it is God and Light then.
Reba was married to the daddy and both the damn brothers. And baby, let me tell you something. She ain't never looked like a hoe. They ain't never really portrayed her as one. Ain't nobody never said nothing about.
Erykah Kane been married 9 times.
Come on, little Elizabeth Taylor over there.
Erykah Kane been married 9 times. And
so
she
it's
married
so funny
brothers.
how the status of the person you seem to not worry about that they've had these different partners.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
or if they have multiple children, all the children got different daddies.
Right.
Okay. Now here's the thing for me, because I wasn't sure. I was upset. I was like, and then I was like, well, bitch, are you doing this simply for the coin?
That was my only question. Are you doing it because you done you done figured this?
You done figured this shit out, right. And now you're doing it for the coin. Or did you figure it out
after the fact? You know,
right?
Because she might be one of the people that just fall in love with love.
Right. Okay. Not Miss Phyllis Devon sticking from Women's the Brewster place.
Yes.
Okay. Or I'm gonna go out on the limb and I'm gonna say this out loud because I told this to her face when I met her, and that there was Kiki Wyatt. She in love with love,
Kiki
and I
is
think
in love with love.
In love with love, and in love with babies.
With babies, yeah, because Kiki, I don't know how the hell you do it, baby.
I don't know either, but when I interviewed her, I said, girl, are you? And it came out on R&BD when she went to therapy that they were saying that, girl, you could be addicted to this because of what babies mean and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah.
J-Lo said that too.
Because,
J-Lo is in love with love.
Who?
J-Lo.
Interesting, because the Kiki is now on number 10.
Was
She
that
just
10
had
when we saw, or she had another one?
No, she had another one.
Since we saw her when she was
Yeah.
about to drop that day?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That was number 9. So she had a 10th one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know where y'all get all this money from.
Okay.
What y'all got going on? Y'all got some businesses we don't know about? Because y'all take care of them kids. Them kids be cute all the time.
Okay. However, here's where it is, and looking at that, and I like what you said, the double standard of it all, because men don't do that kind of calculation. What for men, it is a testament to their masculinity. I got, I can sling some dick or whatever, and I got all these damn kids, and have y'all seen the one with the boy? The one, the child who got 30 some odd kids and talk about his pullout game. He ain't got no pullout game.
I did see that. Oh shit! What did I see that?
It's on YouTube. It's up on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
And Nick Cannon keep having kids after kids after kids. He got a couple coming out.
Right.
And it's like, because did you hear what he said in the interview? Somebody asked him in the interview, do all your baby mothers get along? And Nick said they don't have to. All they got to do is be able to get along with me.
Right.
I said, well, okay.
Okay. Right. And there you have it. But even in that instance, but see, in that instance, this here is saying about, a man could talk about it and get a lot of praise or whatever. He has never looked at, which we should, look at him like, yo, dude, what is up with you?
Yeah, because it's like, that's your body count too. You so busy. The first thing you want to ask somebody when you get with them is, what's their body count? But what the fuck is yours?
What's yours? Exactly.
Because it's okay for you to be a hoe.
Right. And we have allowed that. For that to be,
the norm.
standard and male behavior.
Right.
But now here we have.
Man gonna be a man.
Man gonna be a man.
Because the elders used to tell us that as women.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed in marriage just way too long because he just being a man. That's your husband. You gotta.
Not when it's going to be disrespecting me.
Exactly. Now here I am at 52, all single, because I stayed in stuff too long that I shouldn't have.
That you shouldn't have, and then now, because of your morals and carrying on and how you see life, that day of, okay, let me sow my wild oats. Has passed because
I was somebody's mama and wife when I was 18 years old.
Right. And at this
so I didn't go out and party with my
trust
friends
issues and
carrying
on ain't there. I don't trust you like that to just sit down there and to go willy-nilly with any and everybody.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And in this day and age, are you serious?
Baby, I'm scared of that kind of death, okay?
So no. But then looking at her and how she broke this down. Now, the point I was going to make was this. And she broke it down to say she collecting child support. But we never say anything or got mad when we talk about the bitch who got kids so she could get an increase in her check.
And her check.
And her stamps. Ain't that the same thing?
It's the same damn thing. It's the same thing.
Because before the government
at the end of the day, she probably can still get stamps. She might not be able to get no cash, but she could get
stamps
for the kids.
Right. And as long as that money coming through, honey, like she say, she getting this per child, so she getting $2,000. Girl, do the math. That's $24,000 a year.
Okay. And all you need to make is a good 30 or 40 yourself, and you're great.
That's almost, actually it's 24,480, because she said 2,040. So that 40 times 12 is another $480. So she's $24,480 a year. That's a regular job, bitch.
That is a regular job. I was getting ready to say some people.
That's a regular job.
It's unfortunate that that's all some people are making a year or whatever, because right now with everything being high as fuck, but it is. So imagine just that is an actual compliment to if you do have a regular job and you are able to take care of your children because you got a job, then you getting that much. And
Right.
That's why I said I
Right.
didn't know if I was mad at her or not. Shit,
Right.
had me
And
sitting here like, damn,
here's
bitch, you did it
here's the
wrong.
tea. Here's the other tea to all that. That's the money that she getting from child support. We ain't talking about what a hustle is.
Right. We don't know what she doing. She might
We
got a
don't know
job
what
and
she
do
do.
hair. Might got a job and sell platters. I don't fucking know. Babysit. Dog walk.
Okay,
Whatever.
something. whatever the hustle is, she still got that going on too. Okay. So like she said, how come you ain't do it that way?
Exactly.
Okay.
I was sitting here like, damn.
And so now when we look at, and I think but I still don't necessarily agree with it because I'm looking at the family tree.
Right.
Bitch, what the hell your family tree looking like, honey? You got 6 different baby daddies and everybody got a different last name. You know what I'm saying?
Unless because you know there are still people who don't give their kids the father's last name if they're not married.
Right.
So unless she's one of them people that gave all her kids her last name.
But still,
y'all all in school. Everybody in school. That's my sister. That's my brother. All y'all got different last names. That's kind of
right, right. But the thing is that if the daddy is a part of the child's life, you know, and you know we see it all the time. The daddy only got one child by this woman, so he come over to come visit his kid.
That one child. Wait a minute. See, I'm gonna look at it in a way where she has it. Like she got some sense. I ain't even gonna go from the ranch. I'm gonna look at it because I just want to believe that she got some sense because the way she broke that shit down just kind of messed me up.
Okay.
I feel like on Friday, each daddy got a time period to come and pick up their kids at 3:00. Tyrone, daddy be here for you. 3:15, Shelly, they coming for you.
Right. Okay.
And 15 minutes. And in a matter of an hour, so all she kid free. She got a system. Okay? In the perfect world, you know, so everybody's daddy is doing what they supposed to be.
Right. Okay. And then you have it.
But it can cause a lot of confusion and stuff too. We really got to.
It can cause a lot of confusion. You know,
the kids, if one daddy is
doing more for the other.
Yeah, like if it's one who spends more money opposed to the one who spends more time. So like I used to say when I was growing up, I was jealous of the children whose mothers spent time with them, who mothers made them lunch. And these kids were jealous of me because I got a fabulous lunch from the Colonial Meat Market every day. It was a corned beef sandwich on rye with a tasty cake, a piece of fruit, and a juice. Now, but I was jealous. It was this white girl named Christine. I remember her mom used to make her the finger sandwiches, like the tuna finger sandwiches. I'm looking like, damn, my mom ain't never made me shit. Or the moms who would come into the gymnasium after gymnastics practice to see their kids. But I asked my mom one time, and she was like, ain't nobody got time for that?
Right.
You know, so yeah, that kind of thing, the kids get, it's just different. It is. Huh? You glad I made you sandwiches? Mook says she glad I made her sandwiches.
Okay. Well, children, that there is that.
She said, dude, I want her to make me a sandwich. Oh, no.
Okay.
Being a good parent counts, yo.
How about that?
Parents matter. Black parents matter.
Okay. How about that? Well, you know what? And on that note, honey, I'm hoping that each and every one of you was able to get something out of RASHAUN, state senator, state representative rather. I'm hoping that if you're not here in Atlanta, that out of this discussion, you have an idea of what to look for in your state representative to represent in your districts and things of that nature. Hopefully you can find someone who mirrors these qualities, if this is what you were gleaning towards. If you hear what he's saying and carrying on now, you have some questions to ask. You could understand which direction you want to see your city to go in, or your district, or whatever the case may be. So that there is that. Again, tomorrow from 1 to 6, although we got to be out there at 10 because we got to set up I got to take the cooler and this table and things, and I got to get the ice. I'm on ice duty.
Oh wait, we tomorrow we got council
Yeah.
tomorrow, right? Okay, I'm just trying to convince Cole gonna try to get up and come.
Okay.
Okay.
What for the what?
Don't we got a citizens meeting in the morning?
No.
We don't. Tomorrow ain't the
No.
third Saturday.
Yeah, it's third Saturday. But you don't know. Wait.
What happened? You know I've been out of commission.
Girl, honey, they done fired the city of College Park. Done fired the new city manager.
That lady?
Yes, they fired her. Fired her. You know she was supposed to be our speaker this month. Fired her.
What about the guy?
Him too. The assistant. They fired them both.
What?
Fired them both, honey. Only been on the job 4 months. 4 months, and she's gone. So, what is happening tomorrow? CPCA has a voters registration drive down the street from you at the Cranbrook townhomes right there.
Cranbrook townhomes. Okay.
Yeah, they're going to be there from 11 to 2. Okay. 11 to 2.
Are we supposed to be there?
Well, I told them I'm going over to the autism thing because.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, we got the. I'm going over there.
Like, I just don't want to be outside if it's going to still be those temperatures we've been getting.
Yeah.
Because
we're gonna have a tenant carrying on. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll probably right out there. We might come out there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to let people know we still passionate riders over here.
Okay. So
I was even in Bible study the other day. Where was you at?
Yeah, I was there.
When I first came, well, I was in there for a minute. I ain't see you.
I know, I saw you.
Oh, you was on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
started on Facebook.
When Pastor was talking about the concubines, I was like the Bible side chicks. Don't play.
Say yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so that's what's happening. So no, the June meeting is now a voters registration drive. Okay. But did you take the registrar class with us? You didn't become a registrar. No, that was all of us, just the board members. So okay.
Yeah, that was way before I had even probably before.
Yeah. So that's what's going on tomorrow. And then, of course, we'll come in tomorrow night, and we're going to give y'all an overview of what went down and things of that nature. Yes. Okay.
It's only 11:18. We're getting out of here at a good time.
Yeah, we're getting out here at a good time because we got to clean out the car and carrying on. I got to put this big ass cooler that I don't know why.
You got red cooler, don't you?
I got Red's cooler, and I don't know why I said I could bring this damn thing here. I've been kicking this damn thing, tripping over it. It's in the damn way. Okay.
Well, tomorrow, leave it at the thing. Make somebody take
it. Somebody else gonna have to take it because I don't know, honey. I said they said, "Oh, I got room in the car," and now the hand says we done.
I know, because I was telling you if you needed to, when you were starting to move stuff.
I was supposed to bring it around there. I just got lazy, didn't feel like, and I should have, because thank God I haven't broke a toe, because I'd have kicked the shit out the damn thing umpteen times. You know how your pinky toe catching on that?
Just keep catching. Mm-hmm.
I feel like Vera Walker. You just shot me in my pinky toe.
Pinky toe.
Okay, and all of that.
So, well, we love y'all.
Listen, wait a minute. Before we go, happy birthday. I didn't get to do a little video thing for you, but we got Nick just had a birthday. Mook done had a birthday.
And
Keisha done had a birthday. How the hell she did that? Both her daughters are born a few days after.
Baby, I ain't had a birthday to myself in 33 years. That damn Keisha done turned 33 years old. Looking 12.
Okay.
I called. I said, damn, Keisha, you old as shit. She said, Mom. I said, I'm just saying.
Well.
Keisha turned 33. Cole turned 32. My nephew graduated under the care of my daughter. Okay. And his birthday was the 8th. So it was me, boy, Keisha, then Cole.
Okay.
So, yes. And then Baj's birthday. What's today? The 17th.
The 17th.
I was about to say, Lord, I had to look up. Baj's birthday is tomorrow.
Okay.
So, I don't know how that happened in our family, y'all, but it is what it is.
Okay.
Oh, thank y'all.
So, having said all of that, my darlings, listen, we're gonna let you guys go, and all of that. I'm going to stretch and relax for a minute. Listen, how many of y'all watch B-Boy Blues? Have y'all watched B-Boy Blues yet? It's on BET Plus. B-Boy Blues. It's based on the book by what's the child's name? James Hardy. James Hardy. It's based on his book, okay, and it's directed by Jesse Smollett.
I did hear that. I heard about
Okay.
that on the Breakfast Club. He was
Uh-huh.
making his directorial
Yeah,
debut,
directorial
right?
debut. Now I saw it when it first came out, when it was on the street, somebody other thing when it first hit, like right after he got through with all these legal things. I'm telling y'all, you really need to go and catch this. I've watched it 3 times now, and I'm gonna watch it again because I like his directing and things. What he's done with it, he made some fabulous choices.
Okay.
Fabulous choices, honey. And I'm like, okay, I wish he had a better sound though, because in a couple, I'm like, that goddamn
The
sound.
sound engineer, it was messed up. I
Okay.
hate when. Woo!
But the movie itself, my darlings, if you really get into the love story of it, is sickening.
Okay.
The love story is sickening. There was a couple things I would have done a little differently, but that's just from a director's point of view. And certain things I would have fleshed out more. But it's overall, it is absolutely a good movie. Good movie. And if you have not watched Kingdom Business,
I told you I only seen one episode. You supposed to send me your what you call because I ain't paid my
if you have not watched Kingdom Business,
Is Yolanda doing her thing
with Miss Yogi Adams? Okay. Then you are truly doing yourself a disservice. I'm going to put it to you like this. If y'all were into Greenleaf, honey, or Saints and Sinners, you're going to love this.
It's a damn good show. I'm telling you. I only seen the first episode.
Love
and I was hooked.
this.
Oh, since we're talking about TV shows, our Marvel fans, there is a new show. Hey, brother.
Buck.
There is a new show, or there's a new Marvel character. She's called not Captain Marvel, but Miss
Marvel.
She is a Pakistani teenager. So I love the fact everything centers around, like, pretty much around her Islamic family.
Okay.
She got almost like it would be a Pakistani Wonder Woman bracelet almost.
Okay.
She put the thing on because it came from her nana. Didn't know, and the shit had powers.
Wow.
And it's set in one of the cities in Jersey.
Okay.
You know, and they've already showed scenes of them praying at the mosque, but different stuff happening. Like it's good, and it's good to be diverse with that, because you guys know I grew up in Islam and everything, but I don't claim any religion. However, my son continues in his Islamic walk, so I help him teach Lily. So when I told him the other day we watched it, he was like, "Oh man, for real?" Like, you know, as I teach her stuff. So every time he calls, there's something that I've taught her about Islam. So the other day she was able to recite the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, which means in the name of God, all gracious, all merciful. So, you know, so when they said it on the show, she's like, "Grandma, one of the stars of P-Valley and Gilbert is in the same room at the same time." What happens?
What you talking about?
What you talking about?
What you talking about, Willis?
Well, one of the stars of P-Valley. There's an event here tomorrow, and both are scheduled to appear. What? You going?
Oh, is that's the women's empowerment thing, ain't it?
It's in Detroit.
I think it's in Detroit. Yeah. She's going to be there. It is tomorrow. But I don't. That's going to be interesting because her fight is not with the cast. Her fight is with
The
Katori
people, right? Whoever took credit
and
for writing it,
Stars.
right?
Yeah. Okay. So
That
ooh.
will be interesting, though.
Very, 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 very,
What
very.
happened?
So be that as it may, honey. So listen, children, listen. Yeah, that's gonna be hot. Okay, that's something to consider. So all right, we're gonna let you guys go. I am going to go and relax for a minute and unwind and get my thoughts centered around tomorrow. Again, y'all keep my family up in prayer.
Yes. This
And
when
then
we get old. This is the part about I like being old because then I feel like the elders before. Now we can say whatever the hell we want to say. It's like if you don't like it too damn bad, I'm not gonna change what it said.
right.
But the other side of that is that
We become
see
the
death
elders.
more. Yeah, and we see death so much more, and it's like
my aunt. Like I said at the beginning of the show, this was my dad's older sister.
Dad's sister, right?
And my cousin that we lost last year was her son, her firstborn. I told you we were 22 days apart.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, my family dynamic is real different. Now, my cousin and I are 22 days apart, but my aunt and my mother were a week apart because my aunt's birthday is May 16th. My mother's birthday was May 22nd, both born in 1950. Okay. So I was like, wow. And they had a kind of tumultuous relationship between them. I'm trying to take care of my little brother, making sure, don't no bitch, fuck over him.
Right.
And my mother was like, okay, I ain't no bitch, number one. Number two, Larry, get your sister now. Get your sister. Okay, get your sister. Okay. and of course, young girl stuff. That was young girl stuff. When they were kids and this, that, and that. As they grew older and things of that nature, my aunt kind of calmed down a little bit, still protective of my dad and us and all of that. But my aunt was my aunt, honey. Okay. So we just lost her. And my dad, when I talked to my dad today, his long-term girlfriend, I need to call her my stepmother because he been with Christina longer than he been with my mama. Okay.
What did you just say? That's probably still a kid in you.
Well,
calling her his girlfriend.
Yeah, I call her his long-term girlfriend, but hell, that's the kind of my wife that have been together for like
if they've been longer than
at least 30 years.
Yeah, that's his wife.
So I'm like, okay, well, he was calling me from her hospital bed because she's in the hospital, and he was saying that out of nowhere, they said her kidney was starting to shut down, so they got her on dialysis right now. And he said he's being optimistic, but in my heart, I get sensitive when I hear that because when we lost Mama, that's all that happened. So
yeah,
I can't be optimistic because I'm still there with Mama. So just hold him up because if anything were to happen right now, he would just absolutely crack. Because you can't lose your sister and your wife at the same time.
Right. Oh, God. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And my father, he's a Sagittarius that don't know how to emote. He keep all that shit bottled in or whatever. And, yeah. Okay.
Y'all set up praise reports for Daddy.
So that there is that. And carrying on. It's been a whirlwind.
Go get some rest.
It's been a whirlwind, but tomorrow is Autism Awareness, honey. We're going to get out here.
You know what I need to bring you around? Remember when I made you the stuff for the spiritual bath?
Yes.
I made one into a soap cream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I did. Give me some Halo Nana. Okay.
Bring that Halo Nana around there.
Okay.
Together, honey. All right, y'all.
All right, my darling. So listen, I'm not gonna go all out because y'all know I told y'all, honey, I just didn't feel right trying to talk with this goddamn mask on or whatever. But I'm just not in the right headspace. I really got to go get this done because after my tooth broke off yesterday, child, I have been no good. So, with all of that, honey, you may finish all of your crumpets, my darling, because the tea has been dished, and you've been dishing tea, darling, with Big Meats and Aunt Nikki, and in the absence of the big guy ally. Okay, the big red fella, honey, we encourage you to love, support us, like, subscribe, share, honey, to all of your friends and carry on, and do what you feel you need to do. Okay, but if you hated us and couldn't stand us, or don't like us or whatever, or want to pull your haterade politics or whatever because I'm alphabet or whatever, honey, tell all of your enemies, all of your motherfucking enemies, to like, subscribe, and to share. How about that? Okay, because you need to understand this, that each and everything that we're doing over here with Through the Hard Way, the syndicate, darling, everything that we're doing will move forward in any way, shape, style, form, or fashion. So on that note, we are going to get up in here, and I am going to say good night, good night, good night. And where is it? Where? Okay, there we go. And on that note,
Yes.
Hey, good night, y'all.